Welcome back to Eternal Sonata. Cutscene, go!
What could have possessed you people to come all this way just to see me? I don't understand it.
Don't sweat it. We don't want to be understood by you. So listen, you better be ready, because you're not getting away again.
Oh, really? I'm not getting away. Why would I need to
Guess we
run
kicked
away?
your ass before.
God, I love Liam O'Brien's performance here.
At my disposal, you're the ones who should be trying to run. Wouldn't you agree, Legato?
Damn it, this is bad. He's already adapted to his new body.
Of course, I have no intention of allowing you to get away.
Count Waltz, why? Why do you have to do things like this to people? Like the mineral powder. It's so dangerous. How could you actually let the people of Forte use something so terrible?
Terrible? Why, whatever do you mean? It was entirely for the sake of my subjects that I developed the most effective medicine possible.
Bullshit.
But you must know that Agogo Forest is suffering. That's right. I ended up getting thrown in a jail cell so you could hide that.
Well, these things do happen. The fact of the matter is, we cannot achieve widespread happiness without a little sacrifice.
But if your people keep taking the mineral powder, they'll get magical abilities, and then they're gonna end up dying!
Why should that matter? The powder heals illness, does it not? And nothing in this world comes without a price.
What?
Besides, no one
Yeah, I'll heal.
He's such a dick! I love it!
I'll heal this illness. It gave you another illness. Whatever. It healed the first one, right?
It cured one illness only to create another illness.
But hey, the first illness is gone.
Haven't you ever
And that's what matters, right?
This is a sin.
Apparently so.
Anything about
I thought
the
ignorance was
powder
bliss.
being harmless?
Ignorance is whatever you want, right?
I'm tired of catering to a public so idiotic as to believe every little thing those in power tell them.
We've had enough of your stonewalling. The only thing that you wanted was to build an army of super soldiers. You take and you take just to satisfy your own greed. We want it back. Give back the beautiful mountains and give back our fallen friends.
Oh yes, Andantino. With the way you try to influence people, you're really not so different from us. You knew you needed power to defeat me, so in order to achieve your goal, you betrayed your own country to Baroque.
You're wrong. We're nothing like you. We're trying to save the people of Forte, who are suffering from your mineral powder. Of course we wanted the power to stop you. You were willing to sacrifice your own subjects. Forget about betraying the country. You were trying to destroy it.
Let's dispense with all the grandstanding, shall we? Be honest with yourself, fearless leader of Andantino. You only want revenge.
You're wrong. That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, I'm not wrong. The only thing you're seeking here is retribution. Payback for your friends who died in that rebellion. And oh yes, let's not forget Claves.
Who?
The only difference between
yeah.
us is the self-righteous sense of justice you have. Actually, you're a lot worse than I am.
With all this power you've managed to accumulate, what exactly is it you were hoping to achieve?
Now that really is a silly question. I wanted power for the sake of having it. With enough power, I can make not only Forte and Baroque, but the whole world bow down before me. Only then will I feel truly alive.
But how will doing that possibly make you feel more alive?
Especially when you keep getting stepped on.
I'm sorry, do you disapprove? Perhaps you'd like to share with us your life's purpose.
Me? I only want the chance to do something to help everyone. And I don't have very much time left to live, so I have to use it wisely.
You poor thing. You're the one who uses magic, aren't you? Don't fret, dear, you're not alone. In fact, all human beings are fragile. Especially those who lack power. They die quite easily. And when you die, it's over. There's just no meaning to it.
Is that really what you think? that death is so completely meaningless.
When you die, you disappear, and eventually you're forgotten. Nothing of you remains. Humans are so unfeeling that way. That's why I must have power. Enough absolute power to carve my existence into the very fabric of this world. As long as I have that.
Oh, I get it now. So that's what this is all about, huh?
What?
It's pretty pathetic, actually. The thing you want most out of life is something you can only get after you're already dead. Listen, I hate to burst your bubble like this, but if you just live a normal, caring life, you're bound to be remembered by somebody.
Such a fool. I don't care about vague, fleeting memories. You see, what I want is to be adored and admired for eternity. Just a trifle, really.
Man, there really is just no getting through to you, is there, pal? Let me educate.
Oh, there's one way to get through to him, with a sword.
Absolutely nothing lasts forever.
Or a bullet.
That's why, for the short time
Yeah,
we're here,
that'll go through him nicely.
we gotta try to make things a little better. Putting everything you've got into whatever it is you do, that's what life is all about.
Quite a touching speech. If you feel so strongly about it, why don't you show me everything you've got? That way I can be sure I'm erasing it all from this world. Your pathetic existence, your memories, your meaning, everything!
I fucking love that cutscene.
I think I'm starting to understand.
Yes, it's like, for one thing, like, look, just real talk, when it comes to villains, a good sign, or at least maybe a good indicator that can tell you right away whether I'm gonna love this villain or not, is that usually, like, you know, at the very end when you have, like, you know, the heroes confronting the villain for the final time, and the heroes are trying to point out everything wrong that they're doing, it's like, when you have a villain that says, oh, you think I'm bad, well, look at this, and, like, tries to throw it right back at them, and, you know, there actually is some, like, you know, evidence behind it. I just love it when villains do that. You know, they try to point out, like, oh, you say I'm bad, but you're not so innocent yourself. I love it when villains do that.
Personally, that really annoys me when they do that, actually, and not really in a bad way, more so in a I want to kick your ass even more way.
Well, that's just it. That's like a good indication, like, you know, that just makes you, you know, you love a villain and yet you love to hate them.
Yeah, it's like if a villain's actually doing their job at portraying what they're supposed to be to the audience, that's either like, whether it be reading a book or actually playing a game that has villains that actually do that, actually implant that into your mind, then yeah, they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And when and it's like I said, you know, considering how this entire game, like, you know, everything from the characters, the events, the world, and everything is all a reflection of Frederick in some way, that cutscene, like, really? When you sit and really think about what Count Waltz wants and how this pertains to the fact that Frederick is dying, it's like, holy shit, it's like I kind of had like an epiphany there, and it's like, I think I see, you know, I see what Count Waltz represents here, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, that's why I said I think I'm starting to understand now. Like the connection between Frederick and Count Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that'll be made more apparent and more clear after this boss battle, but I think I'm slowly starting to understand now.
Yeah, the idea is that he wants something of him to be remembered even after he's dead, and in that way, I guess, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm kind of just spitballing here, but I guess that represents how Frederick, when he dies, all that'll be left of him is the music that people will keep listening to over all the years. So he'll still be remembered in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're pretty much thinking on the exact same page. The developers have never come out. Oh wait, hang on, I want to hear this.
What a joyous feeling! I'll let you have a taste of it as well.
I love you, Liam O'Brien. That's the Liam O'Brien we know and love.
Wait.
The guy with the evil laugh.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, did he voice like Kira from Death Note or something? Because that sounds just like his evil laugh.
No, he's the voice actor of Gaara from Naruto. So,
Yeah.
you know, so like if you remember the Chunin exam when Gaara was going batshit insane, it's like, yeah, that's more or less what you're getting.
Yeah,
It's like,
I remember.
yeah, Liam O'Brien has a great, he plays really good evil villain roles.
Now, I also noticed you're still only going for Waltz. Is he more dangerous than the Butler?
I believe so. You know, it's kind of like the same thing. You know, Legato, you know, while yes, he is strong, he's also very slow. But everything that was deadly about Count Waltz before, it pertains here as well. I mean, he can take up 2 turns, one right after the other. He can attack hard, he attacks fast, he can do status effects, he runs behind you just so you can't counterattack. So it's like, he's still very much the bigger threat in this fight.
That being said, is Legato in the 360 version stronger than he is here, or is the same, or is he the exact same? And that said, making the fight easier.
I would like to imagine that perhaps he was stronger in the 360 version just to make up for the lack of Waltz, but I can't really say for certain. You know, what's his name? Jeff Tepps. He's been commenting on this Let's Play because he's played the 360 version and he's brought up a lot of things to my attention. So, you know, Jeff Tepps, you tell me, how's Legato in this fight? You know, judging by what you're seeing, you know, does he look like just about the same, or was he stronger in the 360 version? You know, you're gonna have to tell me, man.
Okay, you know what? This is probably something I should have asked, like at the very, like when we saw the very first battle of this entire Let's Play. Can you control the camera and what angle you're looking at?
If you hit like the trigger buttons, you know, you can do like, it shows this like default mode. You can get like an overhead view, but that's about it. I mean, there's no like rotating the camera with like, you know, D-pad or anything like that.
You think for the setup they have that probably would have been better, because like you see this you have this really big enemy here, but you're trying to go for the little guy, but he keeps getting in the way of the camera.
Right. I mean, it's like you technically can't get around it just by changing the camera angle and everything. It's just, I don't know, to me it doesn't really, you know, make that much of a difference, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, I guess going back to the subject of Waltz here, you know, before we kind of got sidetracked with the battle itself. So, yeah, BJ, like, you know, everything that you were saying about Count Waltz and everything, we're pretty much on the same page. Like, the developers have not outright said this, but, you know, in my opinion, Count Waltz represents Frederick's greatest fear and his greatest desire. You know, it's the fear of the finality of death and, you know, just, you know, wanting to be remembered. And when you take into account that, you know, Frederick is more or less traumatized by the death of his younger sister Amelia, and the fact that, you know, because she died so young, she didn't even have the chance to, like, really make her mark on the world and everything. So that makes him question, well, regardless of what I'm doing, is the same thing gonna happen to me? And that's what I think Count Waltz represents. It's that fear and that desire, but it's kicked up to the extreme, which, given in this game, is, like, the perfect way to portray the villain.
Well, that being said, like, I guess in terms of Waltz himself anyway, not pertaining to Frederick, but it's like, Waltz's logic is that he wants to be remembered, and he's going to remember, like, by ruling everything, by turning everyone into these monsters. And by that way, he'll be remembered and praised for all eternity. I don't know, I think with the way you're going about things, you're to be remembered more so as a giant asshole.
Well, yeah, but the fact of the matter is that everybody's gonna know your existence. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, not to pull up the freaking Hitler card and everything, but it's like,
I was just thinking.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler, you know, horrible man, did, you know, untold atrocities and everything, but we're never going to be able to forget it. I mean, it's like, no matter how hard you try, the world will never forget what he did. And, you know, and honestly, we never should, because it's like, you know, those who forget history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, but
so
at
it's
the
like,
same
you
time,
know,
it's like, I don't know, like, Waltz must have some weird standards then, because, like, I would personally not want to be remembered at all, as opposed to be remembered as a giant asshole.
That's what sucks about the world today. I mean, you get involved in so much stuff, like, no matter what your beliefs are, if the entire world views it to be something stupid or something so horrible, it's like most people just aren't going to care about how people view you as long as you're remembered for it, and that's kind of humanity's problem today, which really bothers me.
Right, but it's like, that's unfortunately the way of the world, but when you take that into effect with Waltz and everything, it's like, again, he's the villain. To him, those moral standards don't matter. I mean, this is the guy that is poisoning his population, just to make an army of super soldiers, so it's like, trying to ask morality from Waltz, it ain't happening. But again, to me, that's just a sign of, like, another really good villain. Because it's like, I hate Count Waltz, but he's developed very well. So it's like, he's not like the villain, like, he's not the kind of villain like, oh, I hate because he's a stupid villain and he really annoys me. No, it's like, I really love to hate this villain because he was very well developed and diabolical.
Yeah, I mean, if it's for the sake of a story, then it's fine, I guess. But even then, it should be a shining example of what humanity, or as us as people, should not become.
Right.
Like, I mean, I guess in a similar fashion, I mean, I hate to bring up something like this, but it's like, how everyone knows how internet trolls are, about how they like to run rampant in people's business and try to get a rise out of them and stuff like that. It's like, that's obviously the kind of person you don't want to be, and I feel like humanity should take notes from that and just like, okay, people are going to be jerks. Don't be part of the problem.
Right.
Unfortunately though, this is the internet, so I mean, it's like...
I mean, I know, it's highly wishful thinking.
What? It's not correct, actually, for you to only like depict the internet as that.
Well, no,
that's not just an internet thing.
Well, I know. I'm using the internet as an example.
He's bringing up like more so like internet trolls in general.
But
it's like,
I mean, I know it's not just the internet. I'm just using it as an example. I mean, I'm well aware that people that you meet in general can end up being assholes, even if you've done nothing wrong to them. But us as humanity needs to just take up on that and learn not to turn into that, not to be those kind of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not just internet trolls, not just assholes in general, but like dictators, all of those people who like world domination, all that stuff. Like, just don't.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so yay! Boss battle is done.
Waltz, now you shall be remembered as a corpse.
How could I lose? Impossible. I will not accept it. I will never accept defeat.
See, I sort of wish that whenever a villain like says something like that the hero just kind of kicks them while they're on the ground. It's like, fuck you.
Of course. That's what I should have done from the very beginning. I don't need this. No, I don't need any of this. If this world won't submit to my will, won't accept me, then I have no choice.
And now
I'll take you all with me.
He's like, now he's pulling a Kuja.
What? Wait.
Legato!
Final Fantasy 9.
These are going to be your final orders. Tear it apart. Tear apart this entire pathetic world.
Is this the part where he goes berserk? I'll take that as a yes.
He just aimed at Waltz.
I'll take that as a yes.
And then everyone survived.
You know what I imagine? He fucking aimed at Waltz, and I imagine, tear apart this entire world!
There's another portal.
Your Majesty, you are my world!
What?
Alright, so here's...
No!
Okay, so here's the thing. Hero's Crest here. This is another PlayStation exclusive item. You remember that dungeon back in the Noise News I said we couldn't get access to?
You need this to get access to it.
You need this item to get access to it. So, you can go through that portal, which will take you to the final boss of the game, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go tackle this dungeon.
Shit, forgot my keys.
The largest dungeon in the game is a PlayStation 3 exclusive dungeon.
Okay, so I assume
that's kind of a pace breaker.
Yeah, so I assume if they're gonna break the pace like that all of a sudden, there must be something important in here.
It's an exclusive dungeon.
For one thing, your character's best weapons can be found here.
Okay.
So it's like you'll want to go here just to get the best equipment, for a lot of level grinding and everything. Get some more levels. I mean, pretty much when you complete this dungeon, you are more than ready to handle the final boss.
So this is pretty much just a grinding spot.
Well, no. That being said, though, it's like in the this wasn't here originally in the 360 version. So unless they amped up the strength of the final boss for the sake of this whole dungeon here, would the final boss be any hard? Is the final boss any harder than Legato and Waltz before?
Again, I do not know. Jeff Tepps, you're gonna have to tell me. But here's the other reason you do this dungeon.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait a minute. She is alive! She walked all the way over here!
Unless, wait. Oh, actually, this will probably answer my question.
Huh?
Chocolates? Wait. What?
I'm confused as sin.
So are you alive or are you a ghost?
I am confused as sin.
She will explain.
No, you didn't.
Wait. Okay, is this confession time?
What?
She just kept screaming about how much she wanted to come back so she can see Jazz. So, long story short, she monologued her way back to life.
I know.
God damn it.
Okay, so yeah, that whole Clave's dying, the whole forcing the emotion and everything rendered completely pointless because now we're gonna bring her back.
Well, so it turns out Claves had a healing factor.
Well, not exactly. Basically, she said, she did die here.
Oh,
and
well,
I guess her desire to see Jazz, I guess, was so strong enough that, yeah, she monologued her way back here. The catch is that she cannot leave this dungeon. The only way she can is if she basically, if she gets what is called soul shards. Even though she's come back, her soul has been split into pieces, so we have to go through the dungeon, collect all the soul shards, and that will allow for Claves to leave the dungeon and come with us for the final battle.
So as of right now, she's technically a spirit, but if we keep her spirit back together, actually, then she's pretty much back alive.
No, Ryan, more accurately, she's actually a zombie, because it's her soul that's... We're here with her body. It's her soul that's missing.
Yeah, I think the more accurate term is a husk.
More or less.
She's a nobody. Wait.
I said husk, not dusk.
Anyway, now as you can see, so yes, when you're in this dungeon, you can put her in your party because, like I said, as long as you're in here, she can come with you. She just cannot leave until you've completed the dungeon. The downside is, though, the level she's at is the level she was at when she was killed.
Yeah,
so here we are. Yeah, here we are. We're all like level 50. We're pushing level 60, and she's level 20. So if you intend on using Claves, yeah, you better take real good care of her because she is gonna die.
Wait, why is March dark?
It's equipment that I've got on her right now. I mean, that's not gonna last long. It's just her current equipment at the moment. But again, it's one of those things, like, I'm willing to take it just because Aurora Curtain is a dark skill, so, it's not like I'm losing it. Anyway, so pretty much, so a little bit of information about this dungeon. It's called the Mysterious Unison. Mysterious Unison is 12 floors high.
All right, I was gonna bring that up, but I completely forgot because I got sidetracked by Kaves. But yeah, there's actually a musical term in that.
Really?
Yeah, it's unison.
Okay.
Unison, in terms of the musical dictionary or just music in general, it's kind of like an octave, but like I'm sure you know what an octave is, right, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, but unison is where multiple instruments or multiple voices are singing or playing the exact same note, but it's not an octave higher, it's not an octave lower, it's at the exact same level.
Okay.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, so it's like literally you're hearing the exact same tone, the exact same note. And it's like there's no skipping, there's like no low or high at the same time. It's like you're basically hearing the same note, just a bit louder, sung by more people, or played by more people.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. And here's another reason why. Only by going through this dungeon do we unlock the final party level. At level 6, Harmony Chains increase to 6, so now everybody can get 2 special attacks in.
Yeah.
Item slots, we get more. After battle, like echoes, they were chained after a chain, and they're carried over from battle to battle. The downside, though, is that when you start using your Harmony Chains, your command buttons, they start changing.
Oh, what?
So it's like if I use a Harmony Chain, there's a chance that like the attack button, which normally would be X, after using a Harmony Chain, it could possibly switch to the circle button or the triangle button. So that's the one downside, is they try to make that a little bit more of a challenge. So now you really have to pay attention to what's going on in combat, because now they're going to fuck with your buttons.
Interesting.
Huh.
But,
well,
yep.
I guess...
Yep, so pretty much, that's pretty much the very beginning of this dungeon. Just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, we are going to be speeding through the Mysterious Unison, because like I said, it's 12 floors high, and it's, if any of you have played Persona 3, if you're familiar with Tartarus, how, regardless of how high you are, it's literally like, the same floors over and over again, and it gets very repetitive after a while. That's pretty much what's happening here at the Mysterious Unison. So there's going to be a lot more speeding up in this dungeon compared to, what we've been seeing previously.
Okay.